The best of Money Matters. The Big Story.
Welcome to The Big Story. I'm Hongbin, Jeong. From January 1st of next year, the age cap for first-time whole blood donors will be raised from 60 to 65. Now, that's according to Health Minister Cheung. The decision comes amid growing concerns over a declining donor base and an aging population with about 60% of red blood cell usage now coming from patients aged 60 and above. But will the increase in eligible donors be enough to make a real impact? What challenges remain in ensuring a steady and safe blood supply for the future? And how can we encourage more Singaporeans across all age groups to step forward and give? Well, joining us today to share more is Cheung, who's Associate Professor of Vascular Biomedicine at the Chian School of Medicine at the Nanyang Technological University. Hi, Professor. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Well, Professor, Mr. Ong made the announcement to raise the age limit to 65 at World Blood Donor Day over the weekend. What's the rationale behind this policy change? Why raise the age limit now?
Yes, raising this age limit for first-time blood donor reflects Singapore's proactiveness in meeting our evolving healthcare needs. And this is supported by factors that suggest our improvement in life expectancy and people generally getting stronger in the elder years. So as was recently announced, life expectancy of Singapore rises to 83.5 in 2024. So this move is necessary given our aging population and the need for sustainable blood supply.
Well, the current first-time donation age limit is at 60 years old. Why was the cutoff for first-time donors set at 60 previously? I mean, was that based on health concerns?
Well, age limit is precautionary measure, and it has to be and will always be grounded in health and safety considerations that older people tend to be considered more susceptible to adverse donor reactions. But encouragingly, the current data show that such adverse reactions in first-time donors have actually decreased.
Well, as you mentioned, the move comes amid local data which shows that adverse donor reactions like fainting and dizziness decrease among first-time donors as they get older. But are there any health risks that still need to be carefully managed in this older donor group?
Certainly, I think it's a very important question. And in fact, Singapore is already allowing older donors of above 60, right, into 65. These are the repeat donors who can continue giving blood if they're healthy. So having the safeguards in place like pre-donation health checks and reviewing medical history are still in place and in fact very important. So for older donors, they also may require being monitored longer after donation to ensure that they recover well before leaving.
Okay. Well, then should there be any specific health checks or criteria older donors must pass before being allowed to donate? I mean, how should the safety of first-time donors above the age of 60 be ensured?
I suppose these safeguards are definitely in place and very important. So older donors will go through these pre-donation health checks to ensure their safety. So this may involve reviewing medical history, checking blood pressure, the red blood cell hemoglobin level, and even screening for any existing medication, right, that may also any complications. Yeah, so these steps really help to balance the safety of the donor with our growing need for blood in our hospitals.
All right. Well, Singapore's aging population is also set to present a challenge as, patients age 60 and above now account for 60% of total red blood cell usage. How does Singapore's aging population complicate the challenge of maintaining a stable blood supply, Professor?
Okay. So Singapore is no exception. In fact, like many developed countries are facing similar challenges to maintain stable blood supply. So as more people age, you would imagine the demand for blood increases. So since our seniors now account for 60% of our total blood usage, but at the same time, we're also talking about this pool of existing eligible donors is shrinking. So I think this will eventually, of course, result in a growing gap between those who need blood and those who can give blood.
Right. And this also comes as Singapore has seen the number of local blood donors drop. Earlier this month, the Singapore Red Cross reported critically low supplies of 3 key blood types with stocks of O+, AB+, and A- blood types running low, prompting a renewed appeal for donors to come forward. In fact, new blood donor numbers have declined by more than 11% since 2013, and Singapore had around 18,000 new donors in 2024, down from more than 20,000 in 2013. So, Professor, why are less donors coming forward, do you think?
I think this still falls back on Singapore being one of the fastest growing population in Asia. So it means that many of our long time and existing blood donors are also reaching the age that they can no longer donate. So, and of course, our past pandemic also significantly disrupted this blood donation worldwide, including Singapore. So it makes the donor pool generally slower, and maybe the need to re-engage this lapsed donor, right, where they have a hiatus in coming forward to donate again, and re-engaging this group of people can be important.
Well, each blood donation is set to save up to 3 lives. So, Professor, in your view, will this move, meaningfully increase donor numbers, or is it just one piece of a larger puzzle?
Allowing older adults, right, to donate blood for the first time, right, I think this is a very positive step and will really contribute to us having a bigger donor pool. And especially, I think these retired individuals, they are probably more motivated to give back and more health conscious as well. So, of course, to meet more long-term needs, I just mentioned re-engaging existing donors for repeated donation, and of course, inspiring young people, to step forward. It's a collective responsibility.
Right. But, Professor, do you think there are still barriers such as, psychological or even regards to information that might still prevent older adults from stepping forward to donate? Are there any misconceptions to be addressed?
Perhaps like fear, maybe fear of feeling unwell and thinking that people are too old to donate. So this is the time that we may have to debug these needs, and this policy change sends a strong and positive message that we trust in the health and value of our older adults, and it's a reminder that blood donation is a lifelong act of altruism and care. So it's something that we don't have to age out of. But also, given that I'm a scientist, so scientifically, there are some evidence that regular blood donation has been associated with maintaining healthy iron level, and some studies suggest that donation can support better blood circulation and cardiovascular health. And even beyond this, actually, many donors report a sense of emotional well-being, knowing that they have helped to save lives. So I think delivering this kind of message really can help people and understand the goal of helping others can also benefit their own body and mind.
Definitely. Well, Professor, before we let you go here, what else needs to be done, though, to build a more resilient blood donation ecosystem beyond age limit reforms?
It is important, right, besides focus on person's health, age, is the need to build public trust. So I think that's exactly what Singapore and the government is doing, all right, ensuring and giving confidence about proper screening, that we are not missing out on healthy and willing people who want to help. So it's essential to balance the donor well-being with this urgent need to continue to boost our long-term blood supply.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Professor, for your time and your insights today.
Thank you, Hongbin.
Thank you. That was Cheung, who is Associate Professor of Vascular Biomedicine at the Lee Chian School of Medicine at the Nanyang Technological University. This has been The Big Story with me, Hongbin Jeong.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.